Good afternoon, mentors. This is Tammy Kirkland with the World Class Teaching Program. Just going to do a quick little training to help you better serve your online candidates. I'm going to be using a couple of screens to do this. First, before you get started, just a couple of things, but you already know this. Your contracts all indicate that all mentors are required to complete mentor training. All mentors are required to use WCTP 601, and it was also made clear that all mentors could potentially serve a combination of face-to-face and online candidates. The program simply does not have the funds to employ just a whole new set of online mentors, so we all do everything. We wear many hats. Online candidates. First, I thought it would help you to know what the candidates have been told before they get to you. First, I have provided them with a user ID and a password for WCTP 601. They have also been made aware of how to reset their passwords. They've been instructed once they log in to begin by watching the welcome and navigation video. WCTP 601 is very easy to navigate and to complete everything in the Start Here menu first. Mentors should do the same thing as well. Also, the online candidates, once they watch those videos, they are instructed to submit assignments the way they are laid out in the modules if they are indeed online candidates. That means you should never receive just a commentary for you to read. We will address that later. They have been told up front that's not how the online mentoring works. Starting in the cycle year of 2018 and 2019, all applications, online and face-to-face, candidates will indicate which components they will be working to complete. Mentors requested that information, so I've added it to the application, so that should help you guys a lot knowing where your candidates are and what they are working on. Let's talk a little bit about WCTP 601. This is just a graphic of the course. Start Here, there's a module for all 4 components. Then there are additional modules for electronic submission, scoring, redoing a component, advanced candidates. Absolutely everyone should work through that to understand how components are scored, component commonalities, as well as Zoom. Let's take a look now at a module. Okay, I have WCTP 601 opened up. When you open it up, this is what you see. Here's the Start Here. Here are the 2 videos that I said everyone should watch. Down below that, I explained the difference in the candidates because every candidate is enrolled in WCTP 601. They just use it a little bit differently. Okay, let's just go over to component 4. All components are set up the same. I just want to show you this. Hopefully you've already seen it. I will point out over here on the left, this is like a table of contents. You can jump from page to page. They are numbered so you can reference them with your candidates or make assignments. Once the component opens, you will see, to begin with, there are the assignments that the candidates should submit to you. So right away, right off the bat, they know they're going to submit certain assignments and what they are going to submit. And then as you go through the module, it's going to refer you to component commonalities. It's going to walk through just helping them understand the component. It's going to go through each form individually, help them make the relationships between forms and written commentary, help them understand the choices that they have. So a lot of really good information here to use with your candidates. So that's what the modules look like. This particular module appears to be 35 slides or 36 pages actually. Okay, let's go back, pick up where we were. Look at the module. Okay. Logging into WCTP 601, there is a link from the homepage being our homepage, wctp.omis.edu. You can see it over on the right. Just click that. A big problem with this is your password will expire every 90 days. I will supply a web ID or a username. It's the same thing that will never change. Every 90 days your password will expire, and I do not have the authority or the ability to reset your password. So there is now a link on our website. You go to resources, WCTP 601 password help, and it will tell you how to reset that password. Once you've done it once, it's easy though. But it's here for you to reference in case you forget yours. Now let's talk a little bit about the development of the assignments and feedback forms. I want you to consider the component standards, the commentary questions, and the rubrics, because these three pieces of material is what we took into consideration when we came up with the feedback forms that the mentors will use for the candidates as they complete the assignments. I will tell you the feedback forms align with the assignments. Meetings were held with all previous WCTP directors. I got a lot of feedback in doing this, and the alignment of the component standards, commentary questions, and the rubrics all became obvious. Commentary questions are aligned with the rubric. They use the same language and are written in a manner to prompt the candidates to incorporate their standards. For this reason, the feedback forms are the commentary questions. Mentors should read the questions and see if the candidate has answered them. They say one of the main reasons candidates do not certify is they do not answer all the questions. It is their choice whether they leave the questions in or out. I feel very strongly they should be left in one manner or another. But again, that is their choice. However, if they take them out and they begin cutting, they could easily cut out a chunk of questions, and therefore that could prevent them from certifying. So as you're reading, you're just looking to see, did they answer the question? And then provide feedback. There will be a blank and under each question where if it's not addressed, just say, I don't see where you addressed this. If it was addressed, how well was it addressed? So you can provide feedback on that. Assignments will be completed and submitted in pieces. This reduces room for error and stress on the candidate and the mentor. That means no one is going to send you a 23-page commentary and ask you to please cut 4 pages. That will not happen. It will be chunked what they're submitting to you. All commentaries are submitted in chunks based on the headings and the layout of the electronic submission at a glance. So also, even though you're getting pieces of a written commentary, they should send you any work samples that go along with it. That is also requested. All first assignments of each module will always begin with a planning form. They were created by the WCTP or in partnership with some other university or program. All first assignments start with that. I've already read that. We cannot assume online candidates are working in the right direction. The planning form lets mentors know what candidates are planning to do before they do it. This allows mentors to intervene if necessary. We certainly don't want the candidates to get almost to the end of the module and then us realize that, hey, you've not gone the right direction with this. So by us chunking it and us asking them to provide a planning form at the beginning, now that may change. It probably will change, but at least you can address whether or not they're headed off the right direction. Assignments and feedbacks. Assignments and feedback forms were made to fit together, just like a jar and a lid. One cannot be used without the other. That means you cannot try and use the feedback forms unless they submit the assignments the way it's written out. So this just goes to emphasize the two are made to fit together. A lot of time went into creating those. Kudos to Melissa Luna for helping out with that. Now let's actually look at what the assignments look like. Back over here. Component 4. There you go. Breaks down your assignment. It's that way on all of them. I will tell you component 1, there's not anything they submit to you. Rather, each candidate has a checklist You could ask them about have they completed the things on their checklist. See, those are things they're supposed to. All candidates, whether face-to-face or online, should be working on component 1 all the time. That is not something they should put off and wait to, even if they're going to do it next year. The reason for doing it next year is to begin preparing this year. So make sure you get your candidates working on component 1 if they have not done it yet, even if they're not signed up for it this year. If they're not signed up for it this year, that just means they have more time to prepare for it. It is 40% of their score. Very significant reason to begin working on it. Okay. We have looked at the assignments. Now let's take a look at the feedback forms. Okay. If you go to Home, you will see a link just for you, even though the candidates can access it as well, called Mentors. Here you have feedback forms. You have several things, and this may vary from time to time, but anything that I have for you, I will place here. You click on feedback forms. You have a folder for component 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to model using component 4. And you see, you will find your certificate area. All certificate areas have their own feedback forms. Hours and hours went into creating this for you. Let's just click on Middle Childhood Generalist. Click on it again. It's going to download. It's going to open up. There we go. And the very first thing you see when it opens up, look guys, is your assignments. So you have a couple of ways you can do this. You can print this out and write on it and scan it in and send it back to them, or you can just type on it. And you can see here, here is assignment. Let's see, let me make this larger where we can see it better. See assignments. Okay. It's an example of assignment 2. These are the questions, and it tells them, if you go up here and you'll look at assignment 2. Assignment 1 will be, they are to download the Introduction to Entry form. They are to fill out this and to provide it back to you. Wait a minute, I think I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry guys, I was in the wrong folder. All right, here we go. I'm so sorry. Okay, here is your assignments again. There we go. There's assignment 1. That looks better. Did you clearly address the following questions? You can see it has the questions that they are asked to answer. And if you'll see component 1, assignment 1, they are going to submit the contextual information sheet to you. They are going to submit the knowledge of students, section 1 of the written commentary and group information profile form, evidence, and the component 4 planning sheet. All of that is assignment 1. And here are your questions that go with the written commentary for that as well. Here comes assignment 2, assignment 3, and assignment 4, which is the rubric. It's got you looking at the rubric, and then we have a checklist. You know, often I've ran into candidates that didn't certify, and they will tell me I answered every question and I used the language of the standards. And as an experienced mentor, I'm sure you've heard that as well. So we created a checklist that would help us to catch those people if they're falling into that bracket before they submit. Often when someone tells me that and I go back and I read what they submitted, it is very, very general, meaning I can't see their class. They use the language of the standards, but they don't bother to elaborate and explain on the standards. They don't talk about their students or what they've done specifically. So the checklist will help you to prevent that from happening. So there we go again. And again, I'm sorry about clicking on the wrong one. That was completely my mistake. So again, how did I get there? I went to Mentor, Feedback Forms. I chose whatever component I was working on. Component 4 to model with. I chose Early Childhood Generalist. I could just as easily have chosen Middle Childhood Generalist. And again, the form is going to open up. There it comes. It's color-coded. And again, you can print it out and write on it by hand, or you can type it in and send it back to them. That is your choice. All I ask you to do is please make sure you use the forms. Okay? Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Almost through, guys. Reminder, you see no, 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 and yes, yes, yes. Online mentoring is not receiving an entire written commentary through the email and just offering feedback. No, that is not what we do. What we do is we use WCTP 601, the formatted assignments, and feedback. And every year, you guys will have an opportunity to complete a survey, an anonymous survey about WCTP 601, and every year I will work to make it better. It is not the be-all, do-all, but it will certainly help, and it will definitely make your jobs easier. Initial contact, how do you do that? How does that happen? Candidates are copied on the original email sent to mentors making the initial introduction. That means when I get an application in the mail, I will forward that application to you and copy the candidate on it. So that will be your introduction. After that, you should then email your candidate individually, introduce yourself, confirm from their application which components the candidate is working to complete. That way you'll know, because it is your certificate, what to prompt them about and questions to ask. Remind them that WCTP 601 is the curriculum that you will use. Also remind the candidate that you can only accept and provide feedback on work that is submitted as the indicated assignments in each module. And guys, if they submit it any other way, I need you to send it back. Tell them you are not allowed to read it unless it is in that format. And at this point, if you've not been doing that, then we need to start doing that now. Just pick up wherever you are and make them go back and reformat it. They know it. They were told that to begin with. It was also communicated, in mentor training this past summer, but we're finding some inconsistencies about that. Actually, to be totally honest, we're finding that a lot of the candidates are submitting the whole thing anyway, and we just cannot accept that. The course will not work, and it will overwhelm you as well, because what will happen is, instead of them following the format of how they're supposed to submit it, they will wait till the end, and you could possibly end up with a lot to read right before submission. So we don't want that for multiple reasons. There is a sample initial email provided for you in your mentor handbook. Attendance forms. Procurement requires detailed information in order to issue payment. Basically, I've got to document that you've helped to these candidates before procurement will let me pay you. If you're serving an online candidate, you must submit the following 2 forms as verification. The forms are referenced and explained in your mentor handbook. You may locate a digital copy on the WCT website and under mentors, as well as the mentor tab on the WCTP 601. You're to complete the forms and email them back to me only. No screenshots and no hard copy in the mail. Email only. Here's what they look like. You have one, and this is really neat. You put the candidate's name, the components they're working on, and if they're working on multiple components, then you would put their name down more than once and just fill out each line for each component. That way you can see what they're doing and what they're working on and how they are progressing. This, you would also put their name down and the date of emails. Just put a plus if it's two-way communication, a minus if one-way. That means they did not respond. Email them once a week. You may also want to start an email group. If you would like to do that, that is not inside Blackboard. I tried that, it was a disaster. So Gmail, whatever you want to use. If you want to use a group email, the benefits of that, it's a good way to build relationships and to get a conversation going with the whole group. Also, mentors and online candidates both indicated they wish they had an ability to communicate more with each other, so I added a Zoom module. Zoom allows the mentors to schedule an online mentoring. It is easy and it is free. You can meet with multiple candidates at the same time or separately, and you can share your screen. Basically, you go in, you open an account, uh, you schedule a meeting. It will give you maybe a 9-digit number. All you have to do is just email your candidates and say, hey, we're going to meet at 6 o'clock. This is your number. And it's as easy as that. There's a module with screenshots. It shows you exactly what to do. This course will make the life of mentors and candidates easier. Actually, this course was based on a model that I purchased from Stanford, and it was actually created for the mentors, not the candidates. But I took it and tweaked it to where it could be either or. So again, Stanford uses this for the candidate support providers, the mentors. This is what you take your candidates through if they want to do this component. As a mentor, you do have the authority to make assignments using WCTP 601. The pages are ordered for that purpose. Questions, suggestions, or concerns, please email me. Your mentor handbook is available on the WCTP website under mentors. The password is still WCTP 1848. Next year, I will provide you with a hard copy of that book. And thank you for all that you do. This program could not be successful and could not operate without you. We are the largest in the state, and we certainly appreciate the time that you take to invest in our educators, which we know it all comes back to the students. So again, thank you so much.